Hey, let's do this, crew. Today we're making homemade Philly cheesesteak sandwiches on our Masterbuilt 1050 charcoal griddle insert. Set it. So these are bottom sirloins. I'm putting some Gordon's 1212 meat seasoning on there, along with some smash burger seasoning. I like to do the bottom sirloin. It's a bit cheaper than the ribeye. And once you cut it up real thin and you cook it like you do for a Philly cheesesteak, it's just as tender. So I'd go ahead and get the bottom sirloin, give that a try if you haven't yet. Here's the smash seasoning. Then we're going to go ahead and chop this up real thin. But first, you got to have a sharp knife. If you guys haven't been honing your knives, you should start now. It makes a huge difference. I always test it on the back of my thumb. If it scrapes, you know it's sharp enough. If you don't feel it scraping on your thumbnail, then you know you need to hone it a bit more, because it needs to be sharp for these thin cuts that we're doing. And I'm cutting all of these this small, and then when they're on the griddle, I'm going to chop them up even finer than this. When you start cooking them, they pull apart pretty dang easy when they're this thin. So then we cut up an onion. I didn't have any peppers. Usually Philly cheesesteak, I'd want some grilled peppers too, but I have a vegetable medley that I end up putting on there. Use a few peppers out of there. So oil up your griddle. I've noticed on the Masterbuilt griddles anyway, you need them about 100 degrees hotter than what the griddle says it is. So if you put the grill at 550, the griddle will actually be 450. So keep that in mind. I've noticed there's a big temperature difference from what the grill says it's at and how hot the griddle is. So I'm doing my onions and my vegetable medley here first. Whole bunch of things in there. You got some pea pods, you got some broccolis, you got some squash, got some carrots, onions, and then some peppers. And I can pull some of the peppers out of there, or anything. Put it in the Philly cheesesteak sandwich, I guess. Overall, this grill, I think I bypassed all the switches. If you see on the back corner there, I have that switch out and I just put the two ends together. So the sensor always thinks that the top is open now. And then I have one on the charcoal, where you put the charcoal in the top lid as a sensor, that I bypassed that one. And I also bypassed the one on the bottom door. So yeah, the switches on these things are junk, but you can always just put the wires together. So there's a little tip for you. I'm happy with the griddle insert. I just keep this in all the time now, because when I'm smoking meats, you're still getting a lot of smoke in there. So I just put the racks back in, and then I have my meat up off the griddle top, and then I usually put a pan on the griddle top to catch all the fat. So it actually works well as a smoker still. And then if I want to do quick something on the supper, I have the griddle in there. I used to take the griddle off every time, and that wasn't very fun. So I just went ahead and started using the griddle in there always. Yeah, otherwise it makes good product. Everybody's real happy with the brisket I make. The fact that you can do the griddle insert. I've seen a lot of things replacing the chute walls on the where you put the charcoal in, the hopper. There's aftermarket things you can put in there. Mine's pretty rough shape. It still holds heat. But what have I had this thing for now? 4 years. And I should probably put a sleeve inside the chimney. So here I'm chopping up the bottom sirloin here real thin. Like I said, it pulls apart real easy. It helps to have griddle tools, a scraper and a spatula here. And then you can get your little smash weights. So as you see, I got some shrimp off to the side there, cooking up at the same time. So then you can kind of make what is that called? A po' boy. Some shrimp, some onions and veggies. So again, since it's such small pieces, they don't have to cook for very long. So I want to go ahead and pretty soon here, I'm going to get my cheese on there. I just use a Colby cheddar mix. Once I get it on the grill and I start chopping up, start to finish cooking these steak bits only takes about 6-7 minutes. And then the shrimp is about the same. People overcook their shrimp all the time and they get rubbery. You don't have to cook shrimp for near as long as you think you do. So some meat I just put off to the side for the kids because I know they're not going to want cheese and veggies in their sandwich. So I just make it without. This thing with cooking with kids, right? You make about 5 different meals for every meal because nobody wants to eat what you're eating. But I ate these Philly cheesesteaks for the next 4 or 5 days. I'm not even kidding. They were so good. So I just dumped the cheese on there, put in my veggies, onions, and then I have my unseasoned, uncheesed ones there. Then the shrimp's just about done as well. Another minute with the shrimp there. And then go ahead and take those off. I mean, if you're looking for a grill, like one versus this versus a Traeger, something like that, I mean, I'd always go with the charcoal just because, I don't know, those Traegers and things are just, call them easy bake ovens. You know, you just set them and forget them. Pretty easy to do. All you need is time. You know, these charcoal grills, I think they're worth how finicky they can be, but they, again, I think the charcoal flavor and things, you can put wood in your charcoal shoot. So it makes a big difference. So I buttered the griddle, put my buns on. So I want some toasted buns for my Philly cheesesteak. And they don't go down for very long, maybe a minute. But you want a good toasting on there. Then we're going to go ahead and put this sandwich together and I'll show you my reaction. This thing is bomb. Another good reason to have a griddle because you can make these things all the time. And that bottom sirloin, like I said, it's pretty cheap compared to the prime rib, and I think it's the same product. And here we go. You're going to see my reaction. If you haven't, do like, subscribe. We're getting close to that 1,000 subscribers. If you've watched this long, go ahead and hit like and subscribe for me. You'll get more content like this, and I'll be fixing a lot of things. All right. Thanks for watching. Tender, juicy, well seasoned, A+. So good. Oh.